Good morning, students. In previous class, what we were discussed in previous class? In previous class, we started animal kingdom. In that little general characteristic features of animal kingdom we studied. So in that some of the fundamental characteristic features which are all common to organisms that we started. In that levels of organization, is that right? Next, pattern of complexity of digestive system, circulatory system and reproductive system, that also we studied. Next, after that, body symmetry we studied, is that right? Next, germ layers, that we studied. Next, what is that next which is going to be present? That is coelom and segmentation and notochord, which is going to be present. Today we are going to start coelom. Today we are going to start coelom. Okay. Coelom, sorry, coelom or body cavity. Coelom or body cavity. What is mean by coelom or body cavity? It is first coelom, which is word given by Haeckel. Coelom, that particular word which was given by Haeckel. Clear? Next, coelom, it is nothing but exactly what is the definition if we want to discuss. It is a fluid filled space. Coelom or body cavity, it is a fluid filled space. Fluid filled space or cavity. Fluid filled space or cavity between body wall and gut wall. It is the fluid filled space or cavity between body wall and gut wall, and which is lined by mesodermal epithelium. Which is lined by mesodermal epithelium. This mesodermal epithelium is called peritoneum. What we are going to call it as? Peritoneum. What we are going to call it as? This is mesodermal epithelium. Peritoneum. What we are going to call it as? Peritoneum. So little you may get confused, still I will make you clear ahead of this topic. Okay. What is coelom? Coelom, it is nothing but body cavity. It is term which is given by Haeckel and it is the fluid filled space or cavity between body wall and gut wall. It is the fluid filled space between body wall and gut wall. It is lined by mesodermal epithelium, that is peritoneum. Peritoneum, which is going to be lining takes place on gut as well as the body wall. So that is going to be lining takes place. Where it is exactly lining takes place, we will see. Here it is, just to understand purpose, just I am going to make here it is. Okay. So this is the outer ectoderm. During embryo formation, how many germ layers which are going to be takes part? 3 germ layers. In previous class we discussed. Is that right? Ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. Outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, inner endoderm. These are the 3 germ layers which is responsible for that formation of all the organ systems which are present in animal's body. Clear? So in that, where exactly the coelom is located, that I am going to indicate. So this is the outer ectoderm. Okay, so this is the endoderm. So this is the ectoderm, this is the endoderm. Clear? So whatever the, here it is, one more layer I just going to make. So these are the cells I am going to make it, ectoderm cells. Clear? Here also inside. Now this fluid filled space in this region, fluid filled space which is going to be, it is between body wall. This is the body wall, this is the body entirely, this is going to be body wall, this is the body wall, and this is the gut wall. What is this? This is the gut wall, this is the gut wall. Okay, what is this inner? This is the digestive cavity. It is the digestive cavity. It is the digestive cavity. Whatever the space which is going to be exist, this one, it is going to be coelom, coelom. Okay, this is the coelom. What is the space? What is the? It is going to be space. It is the fluid filled space between body wall, between, this is the body wall, this is the body wall and gut wall. Whatever the space which is going to be present, this is the space which is going to be present, that is going to be coelom. That is nothing but coelom. Do you understand what I am going to say? Outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, inside it is going to be digestive cavity which is going to be exist, in between fluid filled space which is going to be present, or cavity which is going to be present, so that in between outer body wall and inner gut wall, outer body wall and inner gut wall, in between whatever the space, fluid filled space or cavity is called coelom, which is lined by mesodermal epithelium. Here it is, this is going to be lining, here it is lining takes place, here it is lining takes place, this is going to be lining by the a particular flat cells or simple squamous epithelial cells, simple squamous epithelial cells which are going to be lining takes place. That we'll discuss little ahead later. Meanwhile, you just remember. Clear? Now we understood what is cavity, what is coelom. Okay, what is coelom? What it is going to be contained? What it is going to be contained? This coelom, which is going to be consist of visceral organs. Visceral organs which are going to be suspended in this region. Visceral organs which are going to be suspended in this coelom or body cavity. And these visceral organs which are going to be inside, which are going to be present in the coelom, these visceral organs, and these visceral organs which are in a protected manner, simply which are gives protection there, in that inside the coelom, these visceral organs which are suspended, and thereby they are going to get protection. They got protection. Okay, they are getting protection. Simply they are going to get protection. These visceral organs, protection. They are going to get protection. And whatever the visceral organs which are present inside the coelom, suspended in a coelom, they are contract and relax independently whatever the organs which are suspended in a coelom, which is going to be contraction takes place, relaxation takes place independently without any interference of without interference of body wall movements, body wall muscular movements. See, outer body wall which undergo some sort of movements, muscular movements. Those muscular movements which are not going to be influenced inside the visceral organs, because inside the visceral organs suspended in a coelom, thereby they undergo independent movement which are going to be takes place without any sort of interruption of body wall muscular movements. Even though body wall which undergo some sort of movement, that movement not at all going to be affected, these visceral organ movements inside. Example, if I want to say peristaltic movements of alimentary canal. If I want to say example, peristaltic movements of alimentary canal. Peristaltic movements of alimentary canal. Clear? Peristaltic movements of alimentary canal. There is no any sort of interruption by this body wall inside the visceral organs. Clear? Now, how this coelom which is going to be gives protection to that particular visceral organ? You may get question. You might have got question regarding this. Here it is. This coelom. Suppose if I want to say, if you are going to take any briefcase or any suitcase, inside if you put any sort of glass materials, glasses and some bottles, okay, bottles which are made by the glass material, if you put inside, just you can take that particular briefcase or suitcase, you just run. Is that right? While you are running that particular along with that suitcase or briefcase, so inside that particular glasses which may be break down. Is that right? Yes or no? Do you understand what I am going to say? That same thing, that whatever the briefcase or suitcase, you just in another case, you just take it and that inside you put it, that particular glasses, you just this is the glass material, you just wrap around with that any cotton material or towel, all the glass materials, you just put it inside the briefcase. Now you just run along with that briefcase. Is that right? Now at this point of time, there is no chance of breakdown that particular glass material, because surrounding of that particular glass material, cotton material which is giving protection. Do you understand? Same thing, such pattern in like that exactly. Whatever the visceral organs which are protected in a coelom, thereby they are whatever you are going to do the work, either you are going to be even upside down, those particular organs, visceral organs which are not going to be fall down, which are remain in that particular same places, they are not going to be change any sort of their place. Clear? So like that, coelom which is gives the protection to that internal visceral organs. Okay, and though particular coelom, based on presence or absence of coelom, so the coelom in some individual, in some organisms, coelom is going to be absent. Those are going to be considered as acoelomates. Acoelomates. Here it is, coelom is going to be absent. Here it is, coelom absent. Coelom absent. Based on presence or absence of coelom, organisms which are categorized into acoelomates, pseudocoelomates, eucoelomates. First, we are going to discuss about acoelomates. Clear? So in these organisms, coelom is going to be absent. Suppose if I want to draw the diagram regarding this, in this is the outer ectoderm. Clear? This is the endoderm, whatever in between, this is going to be mesoderm. Mesoderm, clear? So this mesoderm gives rise to mesenchymal tissue. Mesoderm which gives rise to mesenchyme during embryonic development. This mesoderm gives rise to mesenchymal tissue. Okay, so this mesenchyme which occupies the entire portion of this region instead of coelom, that entire portion, here it is. So this is the ectoderm, and remaining whatever the portion, this is the body cavity, and this entire portion, let me make you one more color regarding this. So this is the body cavity. So this entire portion, so this entire portion, it is going to be occupied by this entire portion, which is going to be occupied by mesenchyme. What is this? This is mesenchyme. This entire portion which is going to be occupied by mesenchyme. What is now this is entire portion? It is going to be mesenchyme. This is going to be mesenchyme. Do you understand what I am going to say? So in this coelom, in this acoelomate, coelom is going to be absent. So in that mesoderm which gives rise to mesenchyme, that mesenchyme entire portion which is going to be occupied in that particular blastocele, entire which is going to be occupied in that particular blastocele. So such type of organisms which you are going to call it as acoelomate. Such type of organisms which you are going to call it as acoelomates. Clear? Acoelomates. Now, so these acoelomates, these acoelomates organisms, example, in this example, Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, next Platyhelminthes, so these are the animals, phylums which are going to be shows. This comes under acoelomates. So in these acoelomates, Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, in these animals body cavity is going to be absent, or coelom which is going to be absent. Clear? So entire that is going to be occupied by the mesenchyme, entirely which is going to be occupied by the mesenchyme. So in these organisms, visceral organs, embedded in mesenchyme, whatever the visceral organs, in these organisms, in this region, visceral organs which are going to be embedded in mesenchyme, so like this, these organs which are going to be embedded in this mesenchyme. Clear? Okay, like that in this, that is the reason why there is no efficiently whatever the working mechanism, that movement of visceral organs not takes place that much efficiently. Movement of visceral organs slow and less efficient. Whatever the mechanism which is going to be takes place in these organisms, that mechanism is going to be slow and less efficiency because of visceral organs which are suspended in a mesenchyme. Okay, do you understand what I am going to say? And especially that is the reason why these organisms shows the solid body plan. solid body plan. What is mean by solid body plan? Visceral organs which are going to be embedded inside the mesenchyme. There is no free movement of visceral organs. That is the reason why it is less efficiency. And this type of body plan, which you are going to call it as solid body plan in these acoelomates. Solid body plan in these acoelomates. Clear? Do you understand what I am going to say? Next. Another pseudocoelomates. Pseudocoelomates. So these are pseudo, that particular word which related to pseudo. What is this pseudo? False. Wherever you are going to be come across this particular word pseudo, that is mean false. What is false? It is false coelom. What is false coelom? Here it is. Coelom is going to be, in previously acoelomate, coelom is completely absent. In this, coelom is going to be present. Coelom is present, but it is not lined by mesodermal epithelium. It is not lined by the mesodermal epithelium, nothing but peritoneum. So pseudocoelomates, it is false coelom which is going to present. Coelom is going to be present, but that particular coelom which is not lined by the mesodermal epithelium or peritoneum, that's what it is going to be considered as false coelom. These organisms are called pseudocoelomates. Example, if you take in this nematodes, also known as Aschelminthes. Nematodes also known as Aschelminthes. So these organisms, nematodes or Aschelminthes, which shows the pseudo, these are considered pseudocoelomates. Pseudocoelomates. So in which during embryonic development, during embryonic development, mesoderm occupies little portion, less portion. During embryonic development, mesoderm which occupies the little portion of blastocyst. What about the remaining blastocyst portion? That unoccupied remaining portion of blastocyst is called pseudocoelom. Clear? Do you understand what I am going to say? Let me explain through the diagram. Here it is. This is the outer ectoderm, and here it is the cells. Okay, so this is the inner endoderm, again cells which are going to be covering, and this is the digestive cavity. This is the ectoderm, and this is the endoderm. So in this endoderm, during embryo formation, mesoderm which occupies the very little portion. Mesoderm which occupies the very little portion. Mesoderm which occupies the very little portion. This is going to be mesoderm which occupies the nothing but mesoderm gives rise to mesenchyme which occupies the very little portion. What about remaining portion? What about remaining portion? This entire portion is going to be pseudocoelom. This entire portion is going to be pseudocoelom, and it is not lined. And this particular entire portion, actually, here it is has to be a lining takes place. Here it is, and here it is lining takes place. So that lining does not take place by the mesodermal epithelium. Here it is, lining does not take place. Here it is, in this region, lining does not take place in this lining. So entirely, this lining is going to be not takes place. This lining is not going to be takes place. So this, if it is lining takes place, that is comes under eucoelomates. So because of this inside mesoderm lining, it is going to be not takes place. So the mesodermal epithelium is going to be not lined. So that's what it is going to be comes under pseudocoelomates. Okay. Example, nematodes. Example, it is going to be nematodes are also known as Aschelminthes. Clear? Do you understand what I am going to say? So this is in this pseudocoelomic fluid which is going to be exist. In this fluid which is going to be exist. Fluid which is going to be exist. This is going to be not lined by the mesodermal epithelium. Clear? So remember. Okay. So this is about pseudocoelomates. Next, we are going to discuss about another, that is eucoelomates or true coelomates. Okay, eucoelomates. Eucoelomates are true coelomates. This word wherever if it is going to become across, that is the true coelomates. Here it is true coelomates, nothing but here it is fluid filled space. Fluid filled space is lined by mesodermal epithelium. That is nothing but peritoneum. Whatever the fluid filled space between body wall and gut wall, it is going to be lined by mesodermal epithelium, also known as peritoneum. So what exactly that is, we are going to see with the diagram. So this is the outer ectoderm. This is going to be ectoderm, and it is going to be simply cells which are going to be present. Okay. Previous slide didn't mention, now I am going to mention to make it clear. Now, so this is the ectoderm, and next one it is going to be endoderm. Inside the cells which are going to be present, like next, this is what is this inside? This is the digestive cavity. Clear? Now, so this is going to be entire portion is going to be mesoderm. This is going to be endoderm. So in this mesoderm, particularly this entire it is going to be mesoderm. So in that mesoderm, This is the outer body wall. Inner, this is the inner visceral wall. This is the outer body wall. This is the inner visceral wall. These two regions which are lined by mesodermal epithelium or peritoneum. I will make it with one more color. Okay. And here it is. So this is going to be outside, it is going to be peritoneum. This is the peritoneum. What is this? This is the peritoneum. This is the peritoneum. What is this? This is the peritoneum. Again, another word I am going to give you for this. Parietal peritoneum, also known as somatic peritoneum. And another, this is going to be outer, okay, parietal peritoneum, and here it is, again it is going to be, here also this inner body wall also, which is going to be lined by the inner wall. Now this is going to be called as particularly visceral peritoneum, also known as splanchnic, S-P-L-A-N-C-H-N-I-C, splanchnic peritoneum. Do you understand what I am going to say? This is the eucoelomates, true coelom, which is going to present. Fluid filled space is going to be lined by the mesodermal epithelium, that is nothing but peritoneum. That peritoneum, it is going to be covering the outer region, that is parietal peritoneum, and peritoneum which is going to be covering the vessel, that particular body cavity, that particular inner gut wall, that we are going to call it as visceral peritoneum or splanchnic peritoneum. So in between whatever the suspended organs, visceral organs which are going to be located and protected, and they are going to be independently which are working without any interference of body wall. Okay. Now at this point of time, one more thing you just remember, try to remember that. Here it is. Okay. Next, here it is. A double layered peritoneum, a double layered peritoneum which is going to be covering the double layered peritoneum. This is the double, I'll write again, here it is, double layered peritoneum this double layered peritoneum which is connected visceral organs to body wall, that is called mesentery. That is called mesentery. Do you understand what I am going to say? Here it is. This is the, here it is visceral organs which are going to present. Here it is visceral organs. These visceral organs which are going to be connected. These visceral organs which are going to be connected through the double layered peritoneum to that body wall. Here it is posterior. This is the posterior body wall. This particular double layered peritoneum which is connecting these visceral organs to the posterior body wall. That connection is called mesentery. That connection is called, here it is, sorry, this is mesentery. That connection is called mesentery. What is now it is called? Mesentery. M-E-S-E-N-T-E-R-Y. This is the mesentery. This is the mesentery. So this exactly eucoelomates which are going to be in this like this, which is going to be presented. Where example where these eucoelomates which is going to be present. So in this example, if you take eucoelomates, example eucoelomates, you can able to take it Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, next Chordata. So these all are eucoelomates. Again, these eucoelomates which are going to be differentiated into schizophylomates and enterocoelomates. These eucoelomates which are going to be differentiated into schizophylomates and enterocoelomates. Here it is schizophylomates. Here it is. What are schizophylomates? Mesoderm which is going to be splitting off. In these coelomates, body cavity is formed by body cavity is formed by splitting of mesoderm. You just remember this one, very important. What is that? Here it is, body cavity is going to be splitting of mesoderm, are called schizophylomates. Body cavity is formed by splitting of mesoderm. Whatever the just now up to discuss is that ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. So that in that particular mesoderm is going to be splitting into two. Those like thereby formation of body cavity. Animals which are showing that schizophyllum splitting of mesoderm, that example, those are comes under schizophylomates. Example in the schizophylomates are Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. Next, here it is, body cavity is going to be formed in this enterocoelomates. Body cavity is formed by formation of mesodermal pouches, 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 or Argentera. Okay, so in this, whatever the mesoderm which is going to be forms the pouch-like structures, those we are going to call it as Argentera outgrowth. So that first type of cavity we can able to see in enterocoelomates. This example where we are going to see, here it is, these examples: Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. So these are example eucoelomates, enterocoelomates. Okay, anyhow, should remember that in that eucoelomates, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. In that again, which is differentiated into schizophylomates and enterocoelomates. In that schizophylomates, body cavity is going to be formed by a splitting of mesoderm. In these enterocoelomates, body cavity is going to be formed by the formation of mesodermal pouches, Argentera pouches. So that condition you can able to see in these. Anyhow, these examples ఏంటి కెనోడర్మేటా హెమికార్డేటా కార్డేటా clear. So this one is very important, please go through it, please go through it. Clear? Do you understand what I'm going to say? So this is about few coelomates. Next, I already discussed starting itself. What are the functions of this particular coelom? Coelom, it is going to be visible organs which are going to be suspended. Functions of the coelom, visible organs which are showing the independent movement of the body wall. Visible organs which shows the independent movement, and gametes which are going to be released. Gametes released in coelom. Gametes which are going to be released in coelom in invertebrates as well as in female vertebrates. Gametes which are going to be released into the lumen or coelom cavity. Okay, and thereby which will move to the fallopian tube, thereby fertilization takes place. And one more, excretory materials, waste materials, excretory materials which are going to be released into the coelom, for temporary whatever the waste materials which are released into the coelomic fluid, and thereby they are going to be excreted out through the special excretory organs. Anyhow, certain time, temporary time, which is going to be waste materials which are going to be released into the fluid what coelomic fluid. Clear? So these are especially internal organs which are going to be covered. So thereby giving the protection. Next, here it is. Just now I told what is this one. Here it is ectoderm, and this is the endoderm, and this is going to be lined by the, here it is, and here it is, this is the outer parietal peritoneum, and this is going to be digestive cavity, and again this is going to be, here it is lined by the, what is this one, splanchnic or visceral peritoneum. Is that right? So in between, visceral organs which are going to be suspended. Okay, so based on these particular peritoneum organs which are differentiated into intraperitoneal organs and retroperitoneal organs. See, organs, this is the outer parietal peritoneum, or this is the parietal peritoneum, this is the inner visceral peritoneum or splanchnic peritoneum. So in between the two layers, whatever the coelom which is going to be exist, in that coelom visceral organs which are going to present. Whatever the organs which are present inside the peritoneum, this is the peritoneum, is that right? Outer peritoneum, inner peritoneum. So in between whatever the organs which are present, those we are going to call it as intraperitoneal organs. Intraperitoneal organs. What are intraperitoneal organs? Example, stomach, liver, spleen. So these are the intraperitoneal organs. Retroperitoneal organs, these organs which are backside of outer or parietal peritoneum which are going to be exist. Example, kidneys. Okay, next, ureter, next, pancreas. Okay, so these are the examples. These are the retroperitoneal. Where these are going to be located? Here it is, whatever the wall which is going to be exist. I'll take one more color. Whatever the wall which is going to be exist, here it is outer layer. So in this region, suppose here it is kidneys which are going to be located in these kidneys. Okay, so these kidneys which are, this is the, suppose this is the kidney. Okay, so this is going to be covered by the outer parietal peritoneum. Anterior, simply this is the dorsal side of kidney. This is the ventral side of the kidney. Ventral side. So this peritoneum, this outer parietal or parietal peritoneum, which is going to be covering the anterior surface or ventral surface of the kidneys. Simply this peritoneum, which is going to be back side of the outer parietal peritoneum, back side. So in this back side, so in this region, back side of the outer parietal peritoneum. So these kidneys which are going to be located. So like that, ureters which are going to be located, pancreas also which are going to be located. So that's what these are going to be comes under retroperitoneal organs. Retroperitoneal organs. Simply retroperitoneum is whatever the parietal peritoneum backside, whatever the organs which are going to be located, those organs comes under retroperitoneal. Intraperitoneal, inside the peritoneum, outer parietal layer, inner visceral layer, in between whatever the organs which are located, those we are going to call it as intraperitoneal organs. Intraperitoneal organs. Clear? Just like these are the, especially this is regarding organs. We just try to remember. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss with this coelom completed. Next, we are going to be, what is next one? Presence or absence of segmentation. 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 Animals which are having body is going to be divided into segments. Body is divided into segments. What is that? Body is going to be divided into division of body. Division of body. Division of body into segments. Division of body into segments. Okay, division of body into segments. Linear series of segments. Linear series of segments called metameres. Process is called metameric segmentation. Metameric segmentation. So division of body into segments. So linear series of segments called metameres. So that process is called metameric segmentation. Suppose if you take any organ, any organism, here it is one segment, second, third, fourth, five, like these segments. Body is going to be segment. This is the one meta. This is the one segment. This is the one segment. This is the one segment. These are the metameres. So this entire thing which is going to be shows the metameric. This particular organism which shows the metameric segmentation. There is a possibility segmentation which may take place externally. Segmentation takes place external body, and segmentation takes place internal to outside also. Segmentation which may take place body to that particular organism externally. Segmentation also which takes place internally. Suppose if I am going to say example for that, external as well as internal segmentation. External and internal segmentation example, you can able to take it. Ferritima earthworm. In this earthworm, external segmentation is possible, internal segmentation also which is going to be takes place. So example, if you take segmentation, here it is, what are the animals? Annelidans which are going to be shows. Arthropoda. Annelidans, arthropoda, and also you can able to see the chordates also you can able to see. Chordates. Okay. Chordates also you are going to see. So in Annelida, arthropoda, chordates, this segmentation you are going to be observed. Clear? Next, notochord. Notochord, it is a rod, elongated, rod-like, elongated, flexible structure which is present in animals. So rod-like, elongated, flexible structure which is going to be present. What is this one? It is going to be formed during embryonic development. Formed during embryonic development. Formed during embryonic development. It is going to be act as internal endoskeleton. It is going to be act as internal endoskeleton which is formed from mesoderm. Which is formed from mesoderm. It rod-like, elongated, flexible structure which is formed during embryonic development by the mesoderm, and it acts as internal endoskeleton. It is going to be act as internal endoskeleton. Okay, what is this one? What is this? It is going to be, just now I told, internal endoskeleton which provides protection inside. Simply internal, exactly, if I want to say, let me give you. Of course, this is going to be notochord, those giving the act as internal endoskeleton, thereby entire body is going to be standing, or which is going to be inside, it is particular, whatever the all the things which are going to be flexibly, that particular body which is going to be movement, it takes place. Okay, and this notochord in some of the animals, this notochord in some of the animals, this notochord in some animals, whichever the organs whichever the organisms notochord is present, those we are going to call it as chordates. Chordates. Notochord presenting animals is called chordates. Notochord containing animals which we are going to call it as chordates. Okay, so chordates nothing but, what is this chordate? Chordates nothing but in which notochord which is going to be present. In some animals, notochord is replaced by vertebral column. Notochord which is going to be replaced by vertebral column. So those organisms which we are going to call it as vertebrates. Those organisms called vertebrates. Clear? Do you understand what I am going to say? Organisms which are in which notochord containing organisms which we are going to call it as chordates. So in some animals notochord is going to be replaced by vertebral column. Those animals called vertebrates. Okay, vertebrates. Okay, ma. With this it is going to be completed the general characteristic features. Tomorrow class we are going to start the phylums one by one. We are going to study. Okay. Thank you.